my point is this: read the charts, learn to read these charts, guys. Really, really important stuff. Now, let me ask you something else. How many of you guys would even be looking at Netflix if you were home alone and we were not doing Unplugged here? How many of you would have confidently can say, I would have caught that move and made $2,700 on that move? Alice says, I wouldn't. Leanne says, not me. Just says no. How many of you in the lab would be excited about what we talked about this morning with regards to those alerts on something like that? So that even if during the trading day, you'd get an alert about something like that. Trust says yes. Jeff says definitely. Bill says, looked at it this morning just before class. Good, 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 good. Yeah, Lois, sometimes internet went out, right? So, I mean, that kind of stuff happens too. Yeah, I understand, but it was good setup. $2,700. I mean, I'm done. I can go to lunch. Who's with me? Who wants to go to lunch? I'm done. I'm finished. Carolina says, I already sent you my number. Vernon says alerts would be awesome. And David says I'm buying lunch. Okay, well, we'll see. Good stuff. All right, so again, guys, post-Brexit, been watching to see what the market's doing here. Big rally, 4-day rally, went right to previous price points, broke down from there. We expect it. We see a move of 3, 4, 5 days. We see a retracement 1, 2, 3 days. I was saying in the lab this morning, I actually think that this retracement right here might be healthy. We don't know. If it breaks lower, then we start looking at this and saying, okay, did we put in a lower high? There's a possibility here. You've got some lower highs, just depending on how we roll here. There's a high, there's a high, there's a high, 3 lower highs. But if we can bounce at one of the moving averages or an area of support, 2100 is kind of what's created resistance right here. If we can bounce somewhere in here, it's a nice bounce off of a big rally and could give us what it takes for us to rally higher. If not, though, we could certainly be looking to trade lower, given that there's so much fear out there, some of it justified, some of it not, about the Brexit and the state of the European Union. The fact that the British have decided to leave the European Union, the British people, that is, the ruling elitists are all uptight about it. But the British people have voted to leave the European Union, and so that could create some longer-term implications for the market and could be the catalyst necessary over the long term to turn things around. We don't know. What we will focus on is the chart. We're going to focus on the chart. Okay? Just trading the chart. Now, I asked a question in the lab, and I'll tell you guys why here in just a minute. But Thursday morning in the lab, we traded as we would normally do. And then by Thursday afternoon, the lab was over, and the market was up here. I did, Robert. So the market was all the way up here, 21, what was it, close to 21.15. And this was ahead of the news, ahead of the Brexit vote. How many of you guys in here, now those of you in the lab, you already answered this, so you don't need to, but how many of you in here recognized that as a potential opportunity in the market? How many of you saw the rally on Thursday ahead of the Brexit news as a potential rally in the market as an opportunity? You saw this as a way to make money. Anyone? No yeses, no nos, nothing. All right. Just neutral on the thing. Don't even care, right? There was an opportunity here, guys, and Patty says she did not. Okay, anybody else failed to see this as an opportunity? Here's where I'm going with this. The market rallied on the presumption that the British people were going to say, yes, we'll stay in the European Union. Well, had they done that, nothing would have changed. Nothing. There would have been no change. Things would have been the same as they were on Wednesday, on Friday after the vote, had they voted to do that. But that being the case, there was no upside anymore, and the market was rallying. It didn't make sense. There was virtually no upside, and whatever upside there might have been was taken out in that rally Thursday, but it opened the door for a massive opportunity if folks were wrong. If the people who were betting on the market going higher on a stay in the EU vote were wrong, and by some strange twist of fate, the people in the United Kingdom decided to vote for liberty over being tied to a sinking ship, then, oh my God, the downside potential was huge. And so Brenda says, I didn't get to watch the lab Thursday. I was at work. And Brenda, here's the thing. None of us really saw that coming until late in the day. And I started watching this rally. I thought, oh my God, I should hold a special lab session or get an email out to folks and let them know that, you know, this rally just doesn't make a lot of sense, and they're neglecting the downside risk here. For whatever reason, you had a short burst of irrational exuberance in the markets, and late in the day there was an opportunity to go in, provided that you managed risk the way I teach it, to take very small positions in stocks that could create massive moves. And so late in the day, I went in the morning lab, and I purchased some Priceline put options, some Amazon put options, some Facebook put options, and some Baidu put options. And the next day, sure enough, and the reason for it was, guys, it was a very risk-managed position. The upside risk was fairly limited. If the news came out that the UK was going to stay in the EU, then, okay, everything's the same as it ever was. And it very likely could even become a sell the news type of an event. But what ended up happening was the market did this, and at the end of the day on Friday, I was actually able to close out our paper trading positions on those 4 positions that we held basically overnight at $189,000 profit in our paper trading account. Now, again, it was speculation, but it was risk-managed speculation. Does everybody see that? How many of you guys would have liked to have known what I was thinking Thursday night? Thursday evening, 3:45 p.m. Looking at the results, all right, I mean, I can't tell you what I do in my real accounts. You all will have to guess, but in a paper trading account, $189,000 was the closeout at the end of the day. Would you guys like to know about that? What I was thinking? At least what I was looking at. Because if nothing else, guys, it's the educational value of learning to look at the markets in a way that when you see something going on that doesn't make sense, when everybody's running to one side of the boat, you might want to be on the other side of the boat when that thing goes over, and that's what happened. Well, guys, I have contracted with a service that does text alerts, and I told the folks in the lab this morning, if you are interested in a text alert service, let me just start out right off the bat by letting you guys know, even though I'm paying for this text alert service, I am going to offer a market text alert service for the one-time price, because y'all keep coming back to this thing, so I figure what the heck, of free. 100% free. So there's no charge to it, and I'll be sending out alerts and thoughts, and even with this particular service, I can send out screenshots of charts. Okay, I can show pictures. I can show potential setups. And if that's something that you're interested in, what I need from you is this. So what will happen is you would give me your phone number. I'll send you out a text message, and the text message would say something along the lines of, if you're interested in receiving Bill's market alerts for free, text the word stock to this number. And then when that happens, you will automatically be signed up for my free text alert service. Okay, so if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and type in your phone number, and I will capture those phone numbers, and later today, early tomorrow, I've got a meeting with these folks today to set this all up. You guys will get a text message from me, and it'll say, if you'd like Bill's Market Alerts, click or text here, And not only that, guys, but for example, reminders of those of you going to New York. I saw somebody, I think it was Diane, said looking forward to the New York event. Well, so you don't forget, Diane, I will send you a text message saying, don't forget, Markay and I are going to be in New York. Or as an example, I will see you guys in Orlando for Markay and Jane coming up, here in about a month, and the dates and the times, and maybe even where I'm going to be eating breakfast, so you can come hang out. Okay, so if you're interested, type in your phone number there. I will capture that. We're going to get all this stuff put in and fire off a text message, sign you guys up for the text alert service. Okay, so all you got to do, Rose, type in your phone number right here. Okay, I'm getting phone numbers from there. It is right there, Rose. Excellent. So you guys, I will capture those, and we will get that out to you. And again, it's voluntary. If you want to know what's going on in what I'm looking at, what I'm considering, what I'm discussing in the markets, this is a way for me to have the talks that I have inside my head with you, right? So we'll get all of that, and I'll send that guy out to you guys. But guys, just as an example, I mean, this setup on Thursday to Friday was so awesome, and here is the amazing thing. For those of you that are interested in some Forex trading, that night, okay, our market rallied. The Forex markets close at 4:15. They reopen at 4:30. And we had a gap up in the British pound, right? British pound, US dollar, gapped up. In other words, the people who were betting in the Forex markets were betting that, oh, we're going to stay in the EU, so the pound started to gain some strength against the dollar. It gapped up. What do we do here whenever we see something gap up? We trade against it with a stop above the gap, which is exactly what I set up, guys. Rode that from the mid-150s down to 130. 132.50 is where it ended up. I think I rode it to 135. Great trades. So just being in that mindset and being able to think those things through. Okay? Absolutely. Absolutely, Brenda. So that's what it's going to be for. Victor? Yeah, absolutely. I'll go to breakfast with you at the Woodlands. You bet. Claude, I'm glad to see you're going to be in New York. So, guys, that's just kind of came from my frustration not being able to reach out to you guys before Friday morning at the open. Now, those of you that were in the lab, you saw how this trade went, and as early as Friday, I was nervous that this market was going to rally back against this because it just didn't make sense. I mean, even if Brexit happens, it's not something that's going to really take effect in the markets for a while because there's a 2-year time frame here. So we've got this nice big rally. Where does it go from here? I don't know. I do know this. If you're going to profit from it, you better get your head in the right place. So would it be okay with you guys if every now and then one of the text messages that comes out are some of the motivational quotes that I've been known to put out? You guys be all right with that? Help you get in the right mindset, because it doesn't matter what skill set you have. If your mindset is not right, your skill set cannot follow. So we'll be getting all of that stuff out there to you guys. Appreciate those of you sending me the phone numbers, and I've got a limited number of spots here, so if you guys are interested, get that number to me. Excellent. All right. So, guys, I'm kind of interested to know from a technical perspective as well as from a mindset perspective what Markay is looking at in the market. And we have not heard from her for a little while. She's been off in the desert. She called it the third level of Hades is how hot it was, right? So she's been off for a couple weeks here and sent me some really awesome pictures from the vacation. Maybe you guys get a chance to ask her about her vacation. But how many of you guys would like to hear from Markay? And I think, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure. She might have a special surprise for you guys. You guys want to? Yeah? You guys want to hear from Markay? We got Amelia just sent me her phone number for the text service. Yes, dear. I just gotcha. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's go ahead and turn this over to Markay and let her spend a little bit of time with you guys here, talking about the markets and about what she's got coming up. So if you guys would put your hands together and let's go ahead and bring Markay Latimer to the room here.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? So, yes, it has been a while. So I'm so happy to hang out with you guys again. It feels like forever. But yeah, I was in a very hot place. Although I have to say, we spent a lot of time hiking in Zion's, and it was spectacular. If you haven't been there, you have to go. And I do have some pretty amazing photos. I'll figure out how to show you some of them. But yeah, it was pretty impressive. So as far as vacation, I'm not sure we could call it a vacation when I'm with my entire family and my children and my siblings and their children. So let's not really go so far as to call it a vacation. However, all right, I'm just kidding. We had a great time. It was fun. All right, no, but it was a good time. But it was really hot. It was 110 degrees. So imagine hiking with little kids at 110 degrees. So we did our best to avoid heat stroke, which we all did. So I consider the trip a big success. All right, so Brenda, yeah, it's good to see you here. All right, yeah, it's been a while since you've been here as well, right? But yeah, it was fun, and I am glad to be back though. And but yeah, I will leave you with this and make sure you guys at some point have a chance to visit that part of the country because wow, it was impressive. What part of the world? But yeah, really. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Love that. All right, so yeah, it was exactly. Patty says sounds like Vegas last week with the temperatures. In fact, I flew into and out of Las Vegas, so just got home. So yes, and then we drove to Zion's, a couple hours from Vegas. All right, so let's do this. Bill was showing you some pretty cool things. What do you think? Yeah, well, what do you think of the alert service? Like that idea? Oh, I like that idea, Robert. Yeah, I should have had my kids fan me. Yes, as I hiked. Yeah. Actually, one of the hikes we did was through a river. If you've ever heard of it, the Narrows, you can even look it up. The Narrows in Zion's, and it was really cool. So it literally and figuratively, because we were walking through quite cold water, so we found the hottest day to do that particular hike. So you hike in part of the way, and then the rest of the hike is through a river, which is pretty very unusual, very different, really fun. All right, so cool. So let's do this. Let us. You've done that hike? Nice, Ed. Super cool. All right, let's check this out. The first thing that I like to do, of course, as you guys know, is check out the S&P. Oh, sorry, $INX. How could I forget? There we go. So we got the S&P 500. What we have, to kind of figure out where we want to go in the markets, I think the first thing you need to do is look at the chart of the S&P. And aloha, Gina. I'm so glad you could join us here. All right, so check this out. We've got. Oh, Bill, you did that hike as well? You went to college close to Zion. Very cool. All right, so there you go. The rest of you have to go check it out. In fact, you know what? Just as a side note, I thought how fun it would be to have an event there, maybe in the spring or the fall next time. Not so much summertime, but maybe the spring or the fall, where we could get together, meet up, have some classes, and then do a little hiking. I thought that'd be kind of fun. All right, but back to the markets. So how about this? With the S&P, if you guys want to figure out how to trade and what direction to trade and what's going on, I mean, obviously the place you need to start is with the S&P because this gives you a big market picture. Is anybody surprised by the sell-off today? No, a lot of you saying no, and why not? Not at all. I love that. There you go. It had been up for a few days, up 4 big days. I love it. Just timing-wise, the markets were ready to have some form of a retracement. We had seen the market surge 1, 2, 3, 4 days on Friday right here. This little small candle body with a long wick at the top. So just technically, right off the charts, the markets had gone far enough that they were about ready to retrace. And I talked about that. I know a lot of you subscribed to my Market Insights. I went through that last night. I just kind of talked about that, just that idea of how the day count comes into play. So it shouldn't have been all that surprising that we ended up with a retracement day today. And what you do is you wait let the markets open, see where things are moving, but our setup for the most part for trades today was more on the bearish side because of where we were at on the S&P. There we go. Oh yeah, yeah, Dan, people were on vacation Friday. And yeah, it's probably likely that people took a longer weekend with our holiday here. By the way, happy 4th of July, everyone. Hope you had a great time. So we had the long weekend, so probably that contributed to the lower volume on Friday for sure. But I would almost say even without that, even without the holiday, I would expect that we would have had slow trading on Friday. The markets were nearing previous highs, and you're going into a weekend, whether it's a long weekend or not. Long weekend just makes it even more likely that that's going to happen, right? So we have all those things going on. Longer weekend, we've got a holiday, or holiday, and even just a regular weekend would probably do the same thing with the markets trading up near some previous highs after 4 up days in a row. So it's kind of a good, real solid, classic technical case for the markets to retrace. And so you run through and you look at the different positions out there, and I have my watch list here that all these stocks I'm kind of keeping an eye on, and I wait for different patterns to be triggered. One of them, actually really nicely this morning, was Apple. Nice little quick breakdown trade on Apple. Did you guys watch this? We had the opening, first 5-minute candle, things gapped down. Apple on the second candle, it was selling off further, and it's just a nice quick little trade here on Apple, but it ended up forming a bullish engulfing candle right here at a Bollinger Band bottom. And as you guys know, if you're day trading something, that becomes a day trading exit. Now, what's happening with Apple on the daily chart? So we're moving into the time of day that things are slow, right? Things tend to slow down and chop around and go sideways here. But let's watch what happens here as things slow down through the middle of the day. Let's see where they go in the afternoon. If Apple closes underneath this 10 exponential moving average on the daily chart, what does that look like? What do you guys think? Is it possible, it's going to really depend on the close today, but is it possible that we could be seeing the start of a little bit of a downtrending pattern on Apple? Right, there you go. Carolina's saying it's bearish. So far, we've already seen the 10 and the 20 moving averages cross. We've seen the 10 hold this resistance over here. We've seen a gap down. We have a good retracement last week. This is the area that we're going to see if we are developing a downtrending pattern on Apple, and it will have to do with what happens this afternoon. So this morning, great bearish day trade there, just real fast, quick little pop to the downside. And now watch where it closes today. That's going to be real important as things go forward. Now, and just mainly for the fact that if Apple can close below the 10, it starts that downtrending behavior. It becomes confirmed, and that can set us up for trades that are longer than just day trades, right? Now, what if Apple goes higher? What if it closes above the 10 moving average? Then what do we do? If we're all excited for Apple to close under the 10 and we've got a real good plan for how we can trade bearishly on Apple, what do you do if Apple closes above the 10? Then how do we handle it? Okay, calls. Do you freak out a little bit? Watch the 20. Yep, wait, Beatrice says. Did if you ever panic and think, wait a minute, I had the perfect plan. I had it all ready to go, and then the markets aren't doing what I think they should be doing. So now I've got to go back in and reevaluate and try to figure out how to handle this. Have you ever done that? Maybe? All right, I love it. Some good ideas. We have wait for some bullish confirmation. Yes, I like it. When it comes to your real trading, you guys, is there ever a time where the markets get to the point they feel a little bit frustrating? You don't know what to do. You can't figure out how to trade it. And you know, like I say, if you have a plan and you develop this great plan, and if the markets don't go where you think they're going to go, then what do you do? Ever find yourself in that world of just wondering and frustrated? Yeah, plan B. There we go. Yes. Mr. Bill says, oh no, never, right? Yeah, and that's some of you. This is typical trading where we get in, you know, I think we see this with a lot of traders where we'll get in, we have a great idea, great idea of how we're going to handle the way the patterns are setting up. And if they do something differently, it's not as easy to stay agile and fluid and flexible with your trading plan as it sounds when you're talking about it at night, right? When the markets are closed. When the markets are moving, it's a very different thing. And a big part of that comes down to, I think, understanding the chart patterns, and so you know how to handle things when the markets do change, if they do change on you. And then another part definitely is the mindset, right? How many of you guys think that's a big deal with trading, when it comes to trading, I should say? Is that an important part or maybe not so important? Yeah, Scott says absolutely. Teresa says huge, huge deal. Big, huge, yep, right. It's super, super important, right? The most important, Beatrice says. Very true. All right, and yeah, and I would agree, because no matter how good your charting skills are, if you can't keep your head in the right place and you can't stay calm and focused on your trade, you will probably likely mess it up. We've all been there, we've all done it. We know how important it is, right? Anybody who's traded, we have all dealt with those same emotions, and it's crazy. It's a crazy world. So you've got to learn how to keep things in check and how to keep your head on straight when it comes to trading, so that you can make very risk-adverse, strong trading decisions based on what the markets are giving you, not on what you think should happen, not on what you want to have happen, just based on what is happening, right? Ah, Scott says maybe there should be a mindset class in August. What a great idea. All right, Scott's already registered. I know, some of you probably heard, right? I think you all have, that Jane, you've heard me talk about Jane Cox. Some of you that were in Orlando had the opportunity to meet Dr. Jane Cox. She's got an amazing wealth of knowledge to share with you guys, and she's a trader as well as just kind of a, I don't know, I guess a good way to think of her as a great mindset coach, where she understands the psychology of trading and money and just what it can do to people. So she and I are teaching a class in August. It's August 4 and 5, and we'd love to have you join us, but I also had a special treat for you guys. Jane is taking some of her very precious time, because she truly travels all over the world. She's probably I gotta say, probably the busiest person I know, popping around helping traders literally around the world keep their head on straight when it comes to dealing with money in the world of finance and all the stresses that come with that. So she's taken a few moments to come and join us today, which, well, for her is tonight. For me, it's this morning. Those of you on the East Coast, I'm still thinking breakfast. You guys are probably on to lunch already. So here, how about this? Jane's here with us. I would love to have her pop in and say a few words. Does that sound good? You guys want to hear from her, chat with her a little bit? All right. And Jane, I think you know how to get the text chat. If you have any questions, let me know. So how about this? Let me introduce to you my good friend, Dr. Jane Cox. Here she is.
Hello, Markay. Now it's an absolute pleasure to be speaking to everybody, and I hope you all had a fabulous 4th of July. Just listening to Markay's trip in the wonderful heat of the American deserts, and I think we're sitting here in the UK not only drowning under Brexit, but drowning under rain as well, so I'm a little bit jealous at the moment. So I'm really, really looking forward to spending time with the lovely Markay in August, and with a whole lot of hungry traders, hungry for success. I know I did speak to Bill, and any of you who were on Bill's call last week. I am expecting lots of bottles of champagne, because we have created loads of trading opportunities for you. But just interestingly, I was in Brussels on the results were announced. That was a really interesting experience, and not one that I'd like to repeat anytime soon. So I'm not sure that I'm really talking to my fellow countrymen. I'm kind of claiming my Irish citizenship quite strongly at the moment and planning on abandoning the Brits for a little while. So yeah, you know, I think we've spoken about it, Markay, before, about how we all trade the same charts, we all trade the same markets, and we all trade these weird and wonderful things that happen globally to the markets and the effects that they have on the markets. And it's always interesting how different people's outcomes are, how different their results are from their trading. And I always think, well, the only difference between us is not the strategies that we use or the markets that we trade or the software that we use. It's what happens between our two ears and how we actually cope with things. I remember when I first started trading, which is now just gone 8 years and 2 months I've been trading. I remember thinking, gosh, this is the most emotional roller coaster I've ever been on. I was so tense whenever I turned on my computer. You know, I could feel that I, you know, had that mix between butterflies, nausea, and sheer fear flashing through my system when I started. And I remember thinking, you know, I didn't start trading to add stress to my life. I started trading because I wanted to try and relieve a bit of financial stress in my life and enjoy the process of doing it. And so I think the fact that I place such an emphasis on the psychology part of trading is because I know what it's like when you're kind of caught somewhere between sheer terror and excitement and just hoping to God that it transmutes into money somewhere along the line for you. So I'm really looking forward to talking about how to take that emotional roller coaster out of trading and turn it into something pretty mundane. I always say if trading feels too exciting to you, you're probably doing it wrong. Pedantic, step by step, predictable. You should be expecting you know, the same patterns to emerge. You should be doing the same strategies. I always say the excitement in trading comes about with what you do with the results of your trading as opposed to the trading itself. So really looking forward to chatting through. I think Markay and I in our 4th and 5th of August event will be looking at trades, but also talking about all of the different things that happen inside of us at every single step of trading, when you're analyzing the markets, when you're actually placing trades, when you're thinking about trading, when you're doing your research and analysis of the markets, what's actually going on inside of you. And also something that's very interesting to me is how are outside emotions affecting our trading as well, because you know, we are all human beings. Sometimes we forget that. And when things are a little bit emotional or there's a bit of turmoil in your life, it's so easy to take that with you when you sit down in front of your computer. And that tends to cause chaos in your trading results. So we'll be going through all of that. And I'll have lots of insider information on what it's like to actually live in Britain while we go through this whole adjustment to our weird and wonderful referendum results. And as we watch one politician after another abandon a sinking ship, which is a really interesting thing. So keep your eyes on the markets. Goodness knows what's going to happen to them anytime soon. But if you're a Forex trader, I would definitely keep a very firm eye on the sterling for a good while to come. So Markay, how are you feeling about our event together in August?
All right, yeah, thank you, Jane. Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and I think that's it. That, as Jane mentioned, you know, it's just we've got the chart patterns, obviously, and just the you know, understanding of kind of the mechanics behind the markets, but also the psychology of it. And with the Brexit and everything going on there, she really does bring a unique insight into the world of trading for right now. And any of you guys that think that that's not going to affect our markets, let me remind you how much money I know that you saw Bill make with you guys in, you know, just in the lab, just in the trades going on in the lab over that whole Brexit event. So pretty amazing. And I think there are some real opportunities now that are different than what we've ever seen before. And so I'm really looking forward to this as well. Just not only just from the mindset side of things, of course, that's always a huge part of trading, but then the other insights that Jane has, I'm really excited myself to learn. And I think, if you're, anybody who's a trader, you know that you're constantly always learning. You have to be. And I think of, sometimes Bill will crack me up where he'll say, trust me, I've tested this. I know this doesn't work. I tested it. I found out, all right, it doesn't work. Well, that's how I feel. I tested this. I got to the point that I felt like I was such a good trader that I could coast. I had it figured out. I could go on autopilot. I knew what I was doing, and I had made a ton of money in the markets. I mean, so much so that I probably didn't ever have to work again. I was in a really good place and pretty young as well. And because you remember I started trading when I was 12. Just let me remind you all. Okay, 12-ish. You don't have to laugh. Just keep that inside laughter. All right, but anyway, so what I did is I really did. I started to coast. And I will tell you, the second you think you can coast, your trading will suffer. Mine did, and it was such a bummer. And so I realized that, look, this is like any profession, right? It's like being a lawyer, but you're not quite as annoying. I say that because some friends are attorneys, so but it's like being an attorney or a doctor, something of a professional level where they have to take continuing ed classes, right? Our teachers, they take continuing ed classes all the time. As a trader, you need to do the same thing, and this is one of those opportunities that we all can further our knowledge and our skill set. And I really, like I said, I've tested it. I know it doesn't work to feel like you get to the point you've got it and you could coast. It doesn't work. And that's so even for me and Bill, you see it in Bill, he's constantly learning and studying. This is a class that not only am I planning on teaching you a lot about the charts, but I'm excited for what I can learn from Jane. So I hope you guys are as well. Absolutely take advantage of this opportunity. It's not a quick hop for her. I think it's bad for me to fly across the country. She's flying around the world, and in her busy schedule, she's really doing us a huge service. So don't miss the opportunity. Yeah.
Do you know what, Mark?
Yeah.
As long as you promise some sunshine going while you're there, it'll be well worth the hop across the globe. So, I'm just putting that in as a special request, please. Sun. Thank you.
I think we can do it. We'll give you some sunshine because I'm with you. I'm back home in Seattle, which is basically like London weather. So now we're gray and drizzly, and I'm ready for sunshine as well. So I will look forward to it and make sure that we have good weather. There you go. There you go. Judith, I love it. Judith just said, Jack Canfield's success principles say in order to be successful, it requires a lifetime of learning. And I absolutely love that. I think you will see with anybody who has been successful at any level of their life, anything, you don't just reach that and then chill and coast. And so whether you're a successful trader or working toward that, this is one of those rare, unusual events that I think can help bring you to that level.
I think it's also, as you were saying, just from what is happening, I mean, we all know about Brexit, but I think it's got much wider reaching repercussions than people realize, and I think that it's going to continue for quite a while. I mean, there's now all sorts of murmurings in other European markets about holding referendums, and the euro and the pound and all other related currencies are going to be taking a bit of an interesting swing around the place. But it's also interesting, I mean, just looking at the British markets here, the politicians are putting great sway on the fact that the FTSE 100 is kind of back where it's supposed to be. And that's great, but of course the FTSE 250, which is a much more accurate indicator of what's actually going on, is about 10% down at the moment. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how all of these different maneuverings and undercurrents and all of this backwards and forwards, and there is, I mean, just living through it, there is so much. What the hell happens now? Who's going to step up to the lead? What effect is it going to have across Europe? What effect will it have on relationships, trade relationships with the US, with the Australasian market? And all of that is bound to have an effect across the global markets, generally speaking. So it's an exciting thing, and what is going to happen what I guarantee you will happen is there will be loads of people making an absolute fortune over the next few months, and a load of people losing the shirt off their back. Because psychologically, when there's a lot of money going up and down in the markets, there's a lot of emotions going on up and down in people's heads as well. And you know, I'm more keen on people making money in these interesting times, not losing money in these interesting times.
Yeah, thank you, Jane. That is such a great point that she makes. And you know, you add to this, it's not only just the you know, the psychology side of things and the Brexit and everything that's going on. I mean, we're also in summer markets too, and those are typically choppy anyway. And then you add this whole other level of, you know, information and stuff going on. And it's funny. So this is from Bill. I don't know if Bill mentioned this to you guys in his lab, but he sent me a hilarious little text here that was kind of joking. You know, after Brexit, now it's going to be de Portugal, Slovak out, right? Finnish, check out. Fine, Jim, I'll send it over your way, Gene. Anyway, they were just kind of, you know, who's next? So it could have a cascading effect, of course.
Yeah, I think it's going to actually domino across the continent. I think that the Eastern Europeans are going to hang in a bit longer because they took longer to join the EU. The ones that have been around since the beginning are going, oh, I'm a bit bored in here, I think I want out. So I think it's going to be like a wave. Starts off in little old UK and it's going to wash across the whole continent. Thank God there's Russia to stop it on the other side. That's all I can say.
That's perfect. There you go. So yeah, it's going to give some nice opportunities in the markets, and it's so true. There's going to be a ton of money made, and there are going to be people that are crying because they're not making the money because they don't know how to handle it. So make sure you're on that side that you know how to handle it, and that you can make money from this, because any opportunity, I mean, look at this, any news item creates opportunity, right? And you can use it to better yourself in your situation, or you can sit on the sidelines and be sad and bummed about it, but figure out how to take advantage of this, because there truly are opportunities out there. And I think this gives us neat opportunities that we don't usually have. And we're taking a market that is already, like I said, typically choppy in the summer, and this could give us some really, really nice opportunities, both to the upside and the downside.
Absolutely.
All right, so guys, thank you. I don't know, Jane, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, apart from that, I'm thoroughly looking forward to coming across and seeing everybody. And let's do in Orlando what we would do if we were in Disney World. Let's strap ourselves into this roller coaster really safely, listen to the safety warnings, and let's make this journey count. So I think we're going to have an absolutely brilliant time together. I think it'll be a lot of fun as well as very informative. So yeah, I'm just anticipating a fabulous couple of days, and hopefully some really, really good trading results off that couple of days as well.
All right, that sounds great. I would agree. I love it. I'm so looking forward to hanging out with you guys. You know what I'm going to do? Hang on a second. I'm going to do one thing. If you guys have a second. Let me see if it will let me do this. I'm going to change this presenter over to me for a second. Here we go. Can you see this picture? I don't know if this is coming through or not. It may not. But it's not coming. Yes. Okay, there it is. So I was just going to show you. This is what we hiked in, just so you can see. So this is the top of one of the overlooks. There's that, Jen and Sydney and Cam. Sydney's decided this is her new pose, where she puts her little hands by her face. That's her cute pose. So yes, Philip, I was near you in Vegas. All right, so we got that, and here we go. Can you see this one as well? I don't know if you could see this one. How's that? This is one of the canyons we hiked through. But anyway, I found these pictures here that I had in my email, so I thought I'd show you guys. So you kind of see what's going on. I don't know if is the canyon one coming through, maybe. But so here you go. A little bit of there. This will be my teaser for our next class. Maybe we can bring Jane to Zion's and we can hang out there and do a little hiking. We'll see. We'll see. If you guys are nice enough in August, maybe we can work it out. How's that? All right, but no, in all seriousness, guys, we have this event coming up August 4, 5. Take advantage of it. Please don't miss it. I'm really looking forward to it. We all have a lot of opportunity out there. We've got a great opportunity to learn a lot, and a lot about the chart patterns, and a lot about, just market mechanics. But then from there, to get the psychology of things in line, I think it is going to be just unbelievable what you're going to be able to leave that class with. And this is the thing that, even those of you that really understand the charting, sometimes there's some hangups that are hard to get over, and that's where Jane is going to be there to help get you to that next level. So really look forward to seeing you guys coming up. I know Jane and I were going to be working hard on getting some really great information together for you. We cannot wait to have you guys there. I will order the sunshine and maybe hopefully not too much humidity. How's that? I'll work on that. All right, so there we go. So August 4, 5, guys, take advantage of it. We're going to be right where is it? It's the Hilton Orlando. So it's not right at the airport, but about 13 miles away from the airport. So we're going to be in a really, I think it sounds like it's going to be a nice location. Pretty kind of middle of the road, close enough to downtown, close enough to Disney. If you want to turn it into a little bit of a family trip, bring your family and you can head to the parks. If you want to hang out kind of where we're at, we'll have, it sounds like it's in a good location. Lots of, for me, restaurants, I'm always focused on that. Places to eat. I think we're going to be in a nice location here in Orlando. So perfect. Yep, to get us all set. So we've got the hotel rooms, everything's set for you guys. Check it out. If you have any questions, please call us at Better Trades and we can help you out and get you taken care of there. So yeah, it'll be at the Hilton Orlando. So our goal was to have it at the Gaylord Palms. It was a great location there, a little bit far from the airport, but a beautiful facility, and they just could not give us the space. They had tried, and it just didn't work out. So we've got, I think, an option that will work even better in a lot of ways because we're a little bit, like I said, a little bit closer to the airport, not such a far hike for those of you that are traveling in. So it's our 2-day class, Jane and I, August 4 and 5. So Thursday, Friday. I love to see you guys there. Carolina, what's next with the S&P? Well, what do you guys think? What is next with the S&P? In order to answer that question, we've got to go and look at the charts. So what do you think? Back to what I was talking about with Apple. Remember Apple a little bit? Well, it needs to close below the 10. If it does, it's more bearish looking. We'll go right on the S&P. I mean, the S&P has just dealt with that area near the previous highs, and it's pulling back. What do you guys think about this on the daily chart? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Somewhere in between? Any thoughts? And what will it take? Should be seeing the chart right now. What will it take for us to know what is happening with the S&P? In other words, here's one thing I like to think about. We may not know exactly right here today what type of pattern we have developing, but are there some levels on the S&P that are important for us to pay attention to? Let me give you a little clue. There you go. Christine says maybe a bounce off a moving average. How about this clump of moving averages? And the retracement. So here we are. And Karen's asking, is this channeling? It might be. So you look at the S&P. Is this going to trend up? Is it going to trend down? Is it going to channel? It could do any one of those things, right? Right now, we're in day one of a retracement off of that 4-day rally that we had last week. So what we're going to expect on the S&P, I can't look at this and say, here, I know where the market's going to be next week, let alone even tomorrow, but here's what I can do. And here's what we can figure out is that, hey, if the S&P stays above this grouping of moving averages, it is much more bullish than bearish. And if it could stay there, we are dealing with a more of a probably bullish mindset overall on our charts. However, if the S&P retraces, now how many days do we typically have on the retracement? It's usually 1, 2, or 3, right? There you go, 1 to 3. So somewhere in that, you guys still, okay, you guys can all see the charts, right? Right now, you're the only one that's saying you can't see the, okay, so the charts are there, so I'm not quite sure. See if there's something on your app that you can hit that will give you the ability to see that. All right, so here's what we got. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate it. All right, Jane's heading out. But as far as the S&P goes, we've got the moving averages here that could potentially act as support. We typically get 1, 2, or 3 retracement days. We're in the first of those. So 1 day retracement. The markets, if they bounce tomorrow, we could view this as a more bullish signal because the markets are above the moving averages. If the markets break down below the moving averages, that's a much more bearish trading signal, right? So to me, the question or the answer to your question is going to be, give this another day or two. Let's see how the markets behave when they do, if they approach these moving averages. A bounce is going to be viewed as more bullish, a breakdown is more bearish, and if the markets continue to retrace another day or so, that's still typical in our 1, 2, or 3 day retracement mode, right? So it comes back to those moving averages, and sometimes it takes a little time for us to get some clarity in these patterns. And that is why you will often hear me say you do not have to trade every single day, right? In fact, I think you trade better if you don't. You want to learn to watch and wait for the real clear, powerful setups. That is where the real money is made. All right, so I will leave you with that. So how does that sound? I hope this helps. Guys, I really appreciate you joining us, and I'm so thankful that Jane was able to join us for a little bit. Bill had tons of great information as well, so I love this. I hope you guys enjoyed today's class. Just keep this in mind. Check out your schedules. Bill gave you a great opportunity to come and join us. I'm sorry, to join him with the alert service. So definitely, if you're interested in that, pop your number in here. He's got some great ideas there. I love it. And then we would love to see you in August in Orlando. All right, so thanks, guys. I appreciate you joining us and participating here today. Have a great trading day. I'm excited. I get to travel to New York tomorrow, so I know I'm going to see quite a few of you there in New York at the next step on Thursday and Friday this week. So Bill and I will be there. I look forward to it. And then, I know, Scott, I have a call to make about that. All right, thanks, everyone. I so appreciate you guys spending the time with us. You guys all take care. Happy trading, and I will see you online tonight in the Traders Talk and hopefully live in New York. All right, thanks, everyone. Take care. I'll see you later.